So namaste, everyone again. Um, so my journey with Sridharji goes back about, I think, 2 years almost. At that point, I had just started my journey of Sanskrit, having never learned it earlier. Though I was, through the nature of my work, I was researching about language and I applied it for processing on computers, etc. So the interest in language was always there, and I was also passionate about Indian ancient Indian knowledge and curious about how humanity evolved. And I was very much interested in, and still very much interested in intuition, and I've invested a lot of effort in learning it. So as a consultant, I mean, when I my family, I took a conscious decision to stop. I'm very grateful for that because it gave me the chance to learn Sanskrit, as I've shared earlier, and that was an eye opener. The I always knew it was very rich, but when I actually experienced it, it was like a wow moment, and that's when I decided to start pursue a second career in something related to teaching in all these areas. It is still evolving. I don't know exactly what shape it might take. I have some ideas now, but at that point I was just grabbing any and every course that I could lay hands on, whether it was the books or websites. I was just literally hungry for anything in Sanskritam. So when somebody told me about this course, I just signed up, and he was doing an informal Friday evening, 1.5 hours. And what struck me about it that time was the very intuitive and yet logical way. It's a very strange combination, but very powerful combination. When you combine intuition with logic, then it becomes very powerful. So what I found in his course was that he was teaching Sanskrit from a conceptual viewpoint and then mapping it to the syntax. So that is very appealing to me because it first addresses it at the intuitive level and then it maps it back to the logic. So your mind can grasp it and hold it. So that's how he was talking about vibhaktis, and I saw that there was a deeper semantic layer to Sanskrit, and therefore I continued with that. And then those classes stopped, and then I learned that he was doing a online, a full live workshop last year, which I wanted to attend, but I couldn't because I couldn't go out of town. So I'm, like somebody else mentioned, I'm very grateful. I think Sridharanji it was. I'm very grateful it forced him to do it online, and I think now he's going to stick to that. So I'm deeply grateful that he made this online because I could join. And by the time I decided to join, I had already signed up for my MA. So I was having concern whether I'll be able to spend enough time, whether it will detract me from my MA studies, etc. And I think he was also a bit unsure about why a student doing already MA wants to do this course, which he thought was an introductory course. But I said, no, I don't have a formal background in Sanskrit, and the MA doesn't teach Sanskrit. It assumes that you already know Sanskrit. Therefore, I want to get all the gaps in my knowledge filled. So this course has certainly done that. It has exceeded all my expectations because the way Sridharji teaches Sanskrit is exactly the way it needs to be taught, and it really resonates with me. And that's probably why I was able to help out to the extent you have said I did. Um, and It's going to definitely help me in my journey of whatever offerings I come out with in future. And I also look forward to being continuing association with Vidyaswam and Sridharji, who has been kind enough to offer me a mentorship role. And I'm really because, as I keep saying, you learn most when you teach and you mentor. So I'm also grateful to all of you for giving me this opportunity. And each of you has been an inspiration in different ways. Like Sitaji, though she's the eldermost in age, I think in spirit she's probably the youngest one. Aditi, who I just saw on video today, I didn't know she was so young because when she sings, there's a great lot of maturity and depth in her singing. So I was a bit surprised to see such a young girl. So I think she's also an inspiration. And the way Ramaji sings the mantras at the beginning and the end, there's so much of resonance that I really enjoy that. And John, everyone said, there's so much of thing which is unfamiliar to him, and yet he felt at home with it. And it never felt like somebody who wasn't from this culture is in our course. He was always, I always felt he was one of an insider to Sanskrit. And he started this WhatsApp group before the Discord thing came along, where we could interact. And um, grateful to Valmiki ji, Aruna ji, Rima ji for setting that up. And we had a good a few sessions where we revised what we learned. Um, Rimaji also was an inspiration because she rigorously follows up with everything and she shares, though she has her uh, qualms about speaking. I found that she is able to speak very well when she has to. And thanks to her for overcoming her inhibitions and speaking in these sessions. Um, and that similarly, every participant here has overcome various whatever challenges they are facing in their life, work, career, and still being part of this journey. And I think that's very inspiring. Um, so thank you, Sridhar ji. As I said, the way you're teaching Sanskrit is exactly the way it should be taught. So I've learned a lot about teaching from you and about the quiet, unassuming, and yet no nonsense way in which you teach, where if something, if a student makes an error, you address it so patiently. There's a lot to learn for me in that, because I know at sometimes I tend to get impatient and wonder why this person can't understand. But I've never seen you grow impatient with anybody. So I think that's something I want to learn from you and pick up. Um, so yeah, I think I pretty much covered whatever I wanted to say. It's really been a privilege to be part of this journey. So I'm thankful to you and to Vidyaswam and all the whole team and to all my fellow participants, and look forward to being continue with you on this journey of Sanskrit, Sanskriti, and whatever else that goes with it. Dhanyawad.